When we first started doing these flights about 8 years ago, we wondered how cool would it be to have about 8 or 10 motorcycles escort our vets to the airport. So we made a phone call. We quickly learned that we couldn't get 10 to 12 or 8 to 10 or whatever, we could only get 30 or 40. And that was back then. That was our first flight. And as we did more flights, the word spread, and more bikers showed their appreciation. They've continued to, without fail, to support our mission. We've had early flights. We've had where the road was dark and they drove through deer country. We've had flights in the rain. We've had flights later on in the fall when we had light snow. It seemed no matter what we did, we couldn't shake these guys. We couldn't get rid of them. No, just kidding. We are extremely glad to have all of them as our partners in this mission. And I hope you enjoyed the escort this morning. I hope they made you feel like the heroes that you are. There are many motorcycle organizations represented here today, and of course there's some misfits that don't fit into any of those organizations, but the lead group of this escort is the famous Patriot Guard Riders. They're a group dedicated to honoring all of our veterans, and like the rest of the bikers here today, they take that mission very, very seriously. So I'll tell you a little story. It seems that this woodworker found this classic canoe that needed repair. He not only restored it, but he decorated it with a military theme that honored our nation's veterans. I've seen it, it's beautiful. Not just as a classic canoe, but as a testimonial to what makes our country great, what makes our country great, which is those that who serve. This woodworker wondered how this canoe could best be used to honor our veterans. He then decided to donate the canoe to Patriot Guard Riders. So Bill Shaft, the PGR's New York State Assistant Ride Captain, also wanted the canoe to honor veterans, and he called me and told me the story. He then said, "I'd like to use this canoe to get vets to Washington." And I'm thinking, that's a long way in the canoe. He then explained that he would raffle the canoe to raise enough money to pay for a whole flight. I have to admit and apologize to Bill that I was a little bit skeptical. But lo and behold, he and the rest of PGR and all those that helped raised more than enough money to pay for this flight. In fact, they met their goal and raised $25,000. Where's Bill? Oh.
I want to take a moment of personal privilege for the Patriot Guard Riders, for Paula, and may she forever rest in God's warm embrace. That gentleman that Greg spoke about, his name is Don Kuhn from Kuhn Boat Works. He's a master woodworker, and we came across our paths at a woodworking show, and he spoke to me about what he wanted to do, and we wanted to see if we could turn it into a fundraising opportunity, and that we did. And it went out to all Patriot Guard Riders all across New York State, and 2,500 tickets and $25,000 later, we reached our goal of having the Patriot Guard Riders fully fund this flight. And it was our honor and privilege to be able to do that. These honor flights hold a very special place in our hearts. Among the many missions we do, this is one of the ones that we look forward to every year. It always brings a smile to our hearts. But I do want to recognize that although the Patriot Guard Riders are the most visible motorcycle organization here today, there were plenty other motorcycle organizations that got up at dark 30 to be here to pay honor, dignity, and respect for your service. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention other organizations like the American Legion Riders, Rolling Thunder, Blue Knights Law Enforcement, Red Knights Firefighters, Marine Corps League, Leatherstocking, Christian Motorcycle, the Over the Hill club, and I know I'm probably leaving some people out, but I did want to acknowledge that there were other people that participated. How about those motorcycle escorts? Don Kuhn was supposed to be here this morning to accept the appropriate tribute to him for the sacrifice he made and the tremendous work that he did. But he's currently using his woodworking skills right now to build log cabins up in Denali National Park in Alaska. And it was going to be a long haul to get him back here. But it's my understanding that family members are going to be down in Washington, D.C. to greet us. So that'll be nice for them. John F. Kennedy once said that a nation reveals itself not by the men it produces, but by the way in which it honors and remembers such men. And so today is such a day that you gentlemen, you veterans who've sacrificed so much in service to your country are going to be honored. It'll be a day that you won't soon forget, and it is our extreme privilege and myself to be here representing the Patriot Guard Riders, to be able to have done that for you today. So thank you very much. It's going to be a great day.